Get cozy everybody, because today we'll be playing a game called Intensive Scare Unit. Let's start, let's go. Sigh, can I use the space button? Yes I can, cool. It's my first night shift during residency today. Mom and Dad had always wanted me to follow in their footsteps, to become a specialist. Mom was a pediatrician and Dad was a neurosurgeon. We followed their wishes and got accepted to residency, but all I want is to get a good night shift. Can't say I had high expectations for my first night shift in the ICU, but if I'd known it would be this gloomy, I might have tried to get more than 3 hours of sleep. From the moment I walked through the doors, I felt like I'd stepped into a different world. The lights are dim, the beeping is constant, the whole atmosphere feels like it's one bad day away from a horror movie. I found Satrio, he's supposed to be 1 year my senior, in the staff room, looking like he just crawled out of a zombie movie. He was practically a zombie, with dark circles so deep they could double his eye sockets. His scrubs were a mess, and he had his dazed, hollow look on his face. Good evening, senior. My name's Leah. I know, drop it. Just be casual with me. No. You're the first year resident, right? Ate your dinner already? Yeah. Good, you'll need all the extra calories. Anyway, welcome. Satrio doesn't give up the seniority vibe in residency, unlike some of my peers. I have been told that residency is like being part of some medieval hierarchy, where you're the lowly maid and everyone else is a noble, with a stick up there. Well, you get the idea. But then there's Satrio. The guy actually seemed nice. Yeah, I know, it's almost hard to believe. I'm supposed to do a night round with the junior a shift before me. Do you know where they are? Satrio blinked at me like I just interrupted a really intense daydream. They went home. He just sounded like he'd been gargling gravel. I wondered if I'd be like that after a year of residency. Oh, is everything okay? Anything I can get you? He managed a half-hearted grin that did nothing to reassure me. Nah, just one of those nights. Anyway, this means you'll be doing the night rounds with me. Let me explain everything, kid. Listen well, cause I'm not repeating anything for you. Alright. Here's the deal with night shifts. It's a whole different beast. We're understaffed, so it's basically just you, me, and well, one nurse tonight. Wait, one nurse for the entire ICU? Wait, where's the save button here? Is this a save? Is this a save? Oh, it's a load. There's no save, but I guess the game said it auto-saves. Okay, then. Wait, one nurse for the entire ICU? He waved his hand as if it was nothing. Who needs nurses when there are residents, am I right? We're stretched thin and it's a bit of a juggling act. The ICU's usually got one more hands on deck, but tonight it's a skeleton crew. So expect things to get a little interesting. I glanced around the ICU trying to picture the lone nurse trying to handle everything. I'll do my best. Good, if you're lucky, she will be able to cover all the bases, but don't count on it. We'll need to pitch in whenever we can, wherever we can. There you go. So I'd like you to take charge of the patient bells. Patient bell duty? What does that involve? It's exactly what it sounds like. You'll be the one answering the patient's call bells. Every time a patient hits their call button, it's your job to respond. It's one of those tasks that gets handed off to the newbies because it's hella boring but crucial. Amazing, I'd already been dreading the prospect of juggling everything else, and now I had to deal with constant interruptions from call bells too. Here's how it works. Each patient room has a call button next to the bed. When they press it, an alarm goes off at the nurse's station. Well, it would, if we had more than one nurse on tonight. So you'll need to be the one who gets up and checks on them. Understood. Alright, Leah, let's do a quick round so you know what you're dealing with tonight. Satrio led me through the dimly lit corridors of the ICU. He stopped in front of the main nurse's station and gestured for me to follow as he began his impromptu tour. We started at room 101. This is Angela Liam. Is that how you pronounce it? Liam? 7 years old, recovering from post-dengue shock syndrome. She's stable but still needs monitoring. Sweet kid, but she's been through a lot. As for pediatric patients, you deal with their parents mostly. I peered through the glass window of the room, seeing a tiny figure nestled in the bed, her mom sitting anxiously beside her. Her mom looks kind of familiar. Satria led me to room 104 next. Here we have Mrs. Selvina, 47 years old. She's on a ventilator because her liver cancer is metastasis. Fuck this word, I don't like it. Everywhere, I don't know how to pronounce. Her condition is critical, so keep an eye on her. We can't get a hold of her family yet, so no DNR. What does DNR mean? I glanced at the room where a ventilator hissed rhythmically, and Mrs. Selvina, I don't know, lay still. Next, we moved to room 108. Hello, 108. Oh, what the hell is that shit? As we walked past room 108, a loud crash jolted me, followed by the sound of someone or something thrashing around like a wild animal. What was that? This is Mr. X. We basically found him on the streets. He's in delirium, in pain, and we found some injectable drugs in his belongings. Probably OD'd on something. I think something is crawling inside of him. A pain in the ass, really. Just try to handle him with patience. Morphine every other hour or so. He'll let us know. So we're just gonna let him fight his imaginary demons in there? Until he starts tearing the place apart, then we sedate him. Anyway, you definitely need to keep this one in check. Finally, we arrived at 110. Mr. Joko Moliano, 75 years old. He had diabetic gangrene that caused a septic shock. He just had a leg amputation. He's in a rough spot and can be a bit grumpy, but he's generally manageable. Stria glanced at his watch and sighed. Shift starts at 9 p.m. and runs until 7 a.m. You got a mix of serious cases and one that's going to test your patience. Try to keep track of their needs. Be ready for anything. Got it. Any tips on how to deal with the patients while I'm at it? Stria gave me a wary look. The usual. Be polite, be efficient. Try not to let them see how frazzled you are. The call bell might seem like a nuisance, but it's there for a reason. Keep an eye on the frequency of the calls. It might give you clues if something's wrong. He pauses if considering whether to add more. Also, be prepared for the occasional strange request. It's the ICU after all. People and things here are usually not in their right state of minds. What do you mean? You'll see. Stria looked like he was about to collapse on the spot. Just do your best, kid. We're all running on fumes, but we'll get through it. And if you need anything, well, try not to hesitate. Almost forgot. Since we're working at an ICU, try to answer the patient bells as fast as you can, yeah? Any call might be someone's life and death. I mean, you can't just undo your mistakes in real life, right? As Satria shuffled off to the doctor's call room, he moved so listlessly, it was like he was gliding through the shadows. Seriously, the guy looked like he was part of the Decker. Bet that's gonna be me after a year. I made my way to the nurse's station towards the patient bell call. The nurse on duty had been introduced to me as part of the skeleton crew for the night was standing at the deck. She looked up as I approached, and my first impression was that her face was so pale she almost blended into the background. Hello, I'm Leah, the new resident, just checking in. The nurse didn't respond. Instead, she just stared at me with vacant eyes and nodded. It's as if she was too tired or overwhelmed to offer any kind of greeting. Alrighty then, I'll be around if you need anything, or if there's any news. But nope, no reply, just silent nodding. It was like talking to a very pale, very silent mannequin. The chill in the room seemed to grow thicker with every second, and the silence was starting to feel like it was pressing in on me. I turned and headed back towards the patient rooms, trying not to let the oppressive atmosphere get to me. Did the lights just flicker? Probably my imagination. The ICU was dark, eerie, and every sound seemed to amplify the sense of unease. It's like Satria and the nurse were just the icing on the cake of this unsettling shift. Took a deep breath and braced myself. This is gonna be a long night. I stood at the nurse's station, all eyes on the patient bell monitor. It was one of those moments where you try to pretend you're not staring, but it's impossible to look away. The monitor was supposed to make my job easier, but right now it was feeling like a bad omen. Out of nowhere, the first bell rang, not just once but 3 times simultaneously. My heart skipped a beat as I glanced at the monitor. Room 108 and 110 were flashing with alarms. Standard fare for an ICU, I suppose. But then, room 112? The monitor showed its bell ringing too. Room 112 was empty. 112, let's go. As I was about to press the intercom button, I stopped in my tracks, a chill creeping up my spine. That room was empty. No patient, no reason for that bell to be ringing. I turned to look at Satrius, expecting him to react, but he just frowned and shook his head. The room is empty, right? Yeah, it is. Could be a glitch in the system. Happens sometimes. His casual tone didn't convince me or him, judging by the way he glanced down the hallway. My heart started to race as I stared into the darkness. Do you want me to check it out? Knock yourself out. If you see anything spooky, remember to scream so we can all run away. Great, just what I needed, a sarcastic senior in haunted hospital. Lol. I approached room 112 like I was wading through a thick fog. When I finally reached the door, I opened it as loudly as possible, almost shouting. Oh, excuse me. The room was pitch black. It's just an empty room. No big deal, just an empty, possibly haunted room. My hand fumbled for the light switch. When I flicked on it, the lights turned on, revealing... something. Well, what did it reveal? Absolutely nothing. The room is exactly as it should be, empty, sterile, and completely devoid of life. And yet the call bell was still ringing, even though there was no one there to press it. Holy shit. Quickly stepped back, slamming the door shut behind me. I hurried back to Satria. He looked as unimpressed as ever. That bastard. Well, he didn't even bother looking up from his coffee. There's nothing there. But the bell. The bell still... Satria finally looked at me, his expression darkening just a bit. Just keep an eye on it. Sometimes these things happen. Or, we could just pretend it didn't. Up to you. He didn't elaborate, and I didn't ask. The shift's still a long way to go. I stood at the nurse's station again, and when the bells for room 101, 103, and 104 all started ringing at once. Not this again. Room 103 was empty, completely. And utterly. Empty. So why the hell was the bell ringing? And room 104 had Mrs. Salvina, who was unconscious and paraplegic. She couldn't ring the bell even if she wanted to. I glanced at the nurse who was still standing there, eerily mute, as if the chaos around us didn't even register. What the hell is going on with this night shift? Satria, my ever-reliable senior, just let out a sarcastic laugh. Well, it seems like there's a welcome party for you. I'm gonna go for 101. Press the intercom button on room 101, half expecting something out of a horror movie to greet me. Instead, Angela's mother's voice crackled through the speaker. Dr. Angela's IV drip is running out. Could you come and replace it? I'll be right there. Relieved that it was something straightforward, finally, I grabbed a fresh IV bag and made my way to the room. But as soon as I walked in, the atmosphere felt off. Not again. Angela's mother, Mrs. Liam, was standing by the window, her expression a mix of worry and something else I couldn't quite describe. Her daughter seemed to be asleep peacefully in her bed. Excuse me, Miss Liam. I'm Dr. Leah. I'll be replacing your daughter's IV drip. Doctor, wait, I'm sorry to trouble you, but there's been knocking on the window. It's been happening for a while now, but when I look, there's no one there. Probably just the wind, ma'am? She just looked back at me. Or I could check for you. I moved to the window, opened the curtain, and peering out into the darkness. Jump scare? Careful, nothing. Just a faint reflection of the room behind me and the dark sky beyond. Careful. I shook the latch just to be sure and it was securely locked. It's safe, ma'am. Nothing out there. She just gave me an uneasy smile as I started to replace the IV drip. Something about her tugged at the back of my mind. I felt like I'd seen her before. Are you on social media or something, Mrs. Liam? Your surname is familiar. Yeah, I'm a TikTok model. Veronica Liam. I see. She didn't respond, just turned back to the window. She was holding her left wrist, and for a moment I thought I saw something bruising marks on them. What? As I finished with the IV, the unease in the room seemed to thicken. Seems like I shouldn't have asked. You know, one of them patients that have these tags on their left arm symbolize that, yeah, they're about to die. Or maybe they're dead already, you know. Maybe it's just a dead mother ghost or something, I don't know. Ooh, spooky. Just press the bell if you need anything else. Angela's mom nodded again, but her gaze remained fixed on the window. It's as if she's waiting for something or someone that wasn't there. The window man, I don't know. I quickly left the room, sighing to myself. Feeling thirsty, I wandered into the doctor's lounge. Satria was already there, leaning against the counter. While stirring 2 cups of coffee, he handed me one with a half smirk. So, thanks. Hang in there, kid. This is just your first shift. Hey, this is what I signed up for. Easy for you to say. You're the one of the blue bloods, aren't you? Everyone knows about you. What was it? Mom's a pediatrician, dad's a neurosurgeon. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a walk in the park. They're always comparing me to them, telling me how much harder I need to work. I don't even want to be a doctor anyway. So, must be nice though, having parents who made things so much easier. Wish I had the kind of leg up. My family put everything into getting me here. Now it's on me to make sure it's worth it. I looked at him, really looked, and for a second I caught a glimpse of the weight he carried. Well, I guess we're both just trying not to mess it up. Yeah, something like that. I leaned back, taking a longer sip of the coffee, letting the silence sit for a bit. So why'd you decide to be a doctor? Honestly, from my parents. It's not like I had some big passion for it or anything. They're not well off and, well, it felt like the only way to give back. Really? Yeah, I mean they sacrificed so much to get me here. It's on me to make it count. Plus, they're not going to be able to help my sister much longer. I figured I could chip in with her uni loans when I'm out of residency, you know? Oh, okay. That's heavy. Yeah, well, it's not like I can quit now. But why emergency medicine? Of all the specialties, you chose the one where people are literally running in and out non-stop. I didn't exactly choose it. It was the only one available through the scholarship I got. Had to take what I could get. Oh, so this isn't your first choice? I mean, it's fine. I don't hate it or anything. But if I'm being honest, it was never really about what I wanted. It was just about making sure I could get through med school without bankrupting my parents. Satria stretched a bit before grabbing his things. Anyway, I better get back. The nurse seems inexperienced. Just before he left, he paused at the doorway and looked back at me. Residency's brutal, kid. There's still time to leave if you don't want to be here. Hang in there, okay? Before I could respond, he gave me a small smile and disappeared down the hall. Ring. The clock struck midnight. The ICU erupted into chaos. Every damn bell on the intercom rang out like crazy. I turned to Satria, his face just as pale as mine. What's happening? I have no freaking idea. It's like the whole damn place is losing it. The ringing bells drowned out our voices, and I was struggling to speak. I felt the urge to run, but from what? From our helpless patients? Then I noticed the nurse, the one who hadn't spoken a word since we started. Is this a drill? Oh, so she was human after all, thank God. A drill at this goddamned hour? The nurse took a step back, looking ready to faint. I don't know, I'm a new employee too. Nobody told me about this. Leah, just press the button. Huh? Just answered any intercom. Maybe it'll stop. Roger that. Let's see. I want to go for room 101 again. Press the intercom button on room 101 and it was Mrs. Liam again. Her voice sounded even more urgent. Dr. Leah, wait. Oh, hey, look at that. It saves and stuff. Cool. Thank God for that. I was thinking I should stop it here and stuff because I have to prepare for work and shit. But I really don't like it where, what if there was a point in where if I reach a point where it doesn't automatically save, what's gonna happen then? Obviously, my progress is gonna be fucking erased, so that's irritating. What's with the autosave feature? This is inconvenient for me. Is there like a people with jobs option? Dr. Leah, There's knocking again. It's fast, like someone's trying to get in. Please, can you come? Of course there is. I'm coming. When I entered, the room was dim, with just the faint glow of the monitoring equipment. Mrs. Veronica Lyam was sitting beside Angela's bed, her face even paler than the last I saw her. Doctor, I'm sorry for bothering you, but it's been happening more frequently. The knocking, it's almost like it's demanding to be let in. As if on cue, the sound started again, sharp, rapid knocks that seemed to rattle the window. I took a deep breath and went to the window. Here we go again. Jump scare, prepare yourselves, everybody. I pulled it open, half expecting to see something or someone on the other side. Once again, there was nothing. The knocking had stopped immediately as well. What the fuck was that shit? It's fine, ma'am. There's nothing out there. Mrs. Lyam shook her head, her eyes welling up with tears. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm losing it. I've been so stressed out. My baby, I wasn't there for her. My job, with all the pressures on social media, kept me too busy. I abandoned her when she needed me the most. Maybe it's just my guilt haunting me. For a moment, I wasn't sure what to say, and also I heard the noise, so it can't be you. An ICU where people died and went to critical condition seemed to feed on fear and guilt, twisting it into something that could reach out and touch you in the dark. What's important is you are here right by her side during this critical time, ma'am. She nodded, but her expression didn't change. The knocks had stopped, but the unease lingered. After excusing myself from room 101, I walked back to the nurse's station. The nurse was sitting there alone, tapping her pen on the desk, looking more bored than anything else. You're back to normal. When she saw me approach, her eyes lit up. I wondered if she wanted to ask something about Mrs. Lyam. You know Mrs. Lyam? Who doesn't? She leaned in closer, about to spill some tea. Word is that Veronica Lyam was having an affair with some famous actor, big name in the industry. Her husband found out, and that's why he's nowhere to be seen. Left her to deal with everything on her own, even his own kid. Can you believe that? Oh, so that's why he's not here. Yep, rumor has it the whole thing was a huge scandal, but they kept it hush-hush because, reputation and all that. But everyone in the know, well, they know. And how do you know? I got slapped. I felt a sudden playful smack on the back of my head and turned around to see Satria grinning like a mischievous kid. No more gossiping on the job, Dr. Leah, how is it pronounced? You're supposed to be the professional here, or I'll tell on you. I rolled my eyes, rubbing the spot where he bonked me. Yes, sir, I was just, gathering intel. Sure, let's call it that. He chuckled as he strolled down the hallway, disappearing into the shadows. Try to keep it classy, okay? 3 bells rang out at once, room 108, room 101, and room 103. I groaned. Room 108 was Mr. X, who is convinced someone was crawling under his skin. Room 101, Angela and her tic-tac famous mum with the mysterious knocking. And room 103, empty. Perfect. Well, of course we're gonna go for 101 again. I pressed the intercom for room 101, already bracing myself. Mrs. Lyam came through, her voice panicked. Doctor, the knocking, it's back. It's so loud now and it sounds angry. Please help. I'm on my way. I grabbed my stethoscope, not sure what good it would do against angry spirits, and headed down the hallway. What was I supposed to do? Politely ask the ghost to knock quieter? Oof. When I entered room 101, Mrs. Lyam was huddled in the corner. Trembling, her fingers shakily pointing at the window. There! I walked to the window, steeling myself for another round of absolutely nothing. Jump scare follows. Get ready. Oh, there you go. Yep. A pale face shot up from the darkness outside. A child's face, except there were no eyes. Just empty hollow sockets staring at me. Wait, so is that, another kid? Another child of, Veronica, Mrs. Lyam? I gasped, nearly tripping over myself as I stumbled backward. And the kid is like, knock it off, I'm trying to sleep, you fucking assholes. Mrs. Lyam was sobbing in the corner. Angela shifted her sleep, her small body twitching under the sheets, groaning as if in pain. My heart was still racing from the eyeless kid at the window, but it got worse when I heard it. Soft, eerie laughter. Oh, hey there. Angela, come play with me. I froze. Come on, Angela. Don't you wanna play? I glanced at Angela. Her groans were getting louder, like she was trying to escape something in her sleep. Angela, come play. Just let go. Then, I could see it. A faint shimmering light pulling away from Angela, her soul rising like a wisp of smoke, drawn toward the ghost kid. Crap. No. Whoa, that was fast. God damn it, motorcycle dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? Always fucking loud and shit. Whenever there's something crucial happening in any game I play, suddenly you're fucking loud and shit. I fucking hate motorcycles. Give her back, get away from her. But Angela's mother, still huddled in the corner, was oblivious to whatever was happening to Angela. She just stared at the ghost kid, her face twisted in fear, not even realizing the danger her daughter was in. Angela, fight it, you can't go with him. What happened? What's happening? What's happening? The ghost child turned, grinning wider, his eyeless sockets boring into me. She wants to play it just like I do. Angela's soul followed the ghost kid, and the ghost kid laughed. He pointed at Mrs. Liam. She doesn't love you. You never had time for her. Angela. Angela's better off dead. She can live a new life without Uncle. The ghost kid howled, his laughter ringing in the air. Mrs. Liam, help her. Help Angela. I tried to prevent them from getting out of the room, but the darkness around us thickened. I could feel it wrapping around me, pulling me back. I'm so sorry, dear. Oh, shit. You don't get to say that now, Mum. You never cared about me. You were too busy with your stupid modeling career, even though that is the only thing that's keeping me alive because you use the money to buy me stuff that is necessary to live, like basic necessities, food, grocery, water, electricity, shelter, but it's not enough. It's never fucking enough for you spoiled children. See, I'm right, aren't I? I waited for you. I thought you'd love me enough to come back, but you didn't. But she is here right now in the hospital caring for you and crying and stuff. Are you stupid or something? I didn't know. I was wrong. Please, Angela, come back to me. Angela shook her head, her tears streaming from her empty eye sockets. It's too late for that. You'll never understand. I wanted you to care, even though she is already displaying her care by doing this, but whatever. Angela likes me more. We'll be best buddies. We can play forever and ever. No more staying at home alone, just fun and games with me. For a moment, I could see Angela hesitating, looking back at her mother. The ghost kid jumped in, his cackles screeching like nails on a chalkboard. Your mom doesn't love you, she only cares about herself. Come with me, Angela. We can have so much fun together. Mrs. Lion was a mess of tears and desperation. No, Angela, please, I love you, I want you back. I don't know, man. Where's the part where it automatically saves and stuff? Nothing. Show Angela her mother's bruises. Tell Angela, yeah. Mother loves her, sure, why not? Angela, listen to me. Your mom loves you. If she doesn't, she won't be here when your father isn't. What you doesn't? Angela's soul paused, uncertainty flickering in her eyes as she glanced at her mother. I'm so sorry, Angela. I've been working to escape this hellhole with your father. You know that he beats me. And I wanted to get away, to take you with me so I could pay for your food and school. But in my work, I forgot how much you needed me. I'm so sorry. She just say that because she's scared of losing you, which is true. Don't let him trick you, Angela. You're stronger than this. I don't know. You're loved and you deserve a chance to be happy here with your mom. Don't let him take you away. Slowly, Angela's soul started to drift back from her toward her body. There you go. No, Angela, don't be boring. Stay with me. Ha. Fuck you, asshole. There you go. You're alive now. Cool. But I love my mommy. And if daddy's hurting mommy, then she doesn't have anyone but me. Mrs. Lion rushed to her daughter's side, cradling her as tears streamed down her face. Angela, oh my god, are you okay? I'm so sorry, baby. I've been such a terrible mother. I thought working was the only way to save us, but I wasn't there for you when you needed me the most. Angela, still groggy, blinked slowly as she leaned into her mother's hug, her small hands grasping weakly at Mrs. Liam's shirt. It's okay, Mummy. I've missed you so much. I've been running away from our problems, but no more. I'm leaving him. We're leaving. I promise I'll make it right. I'll make everything right. Angela's eyes fluttered for a moment, but this time it wasn't from exhaustion, it was from peace. She smiled weakly, nodding. She smiled weakly, nodding as she nuzzled into her mother's shoulder. For the first time, the room was filled with warmth instead of fear. The ghost kid was gone, his angry presence fading into nothingness, and all that was left for was a mother and her daughter finally together. God damn it! Why am I stuttering so much? Why am I tripping on my words? I think I did a pretty good job there. Thank you, Doctor. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been here. I'm just glad you're both okay. Thank you, Doctor Lady. And Mr. Doctor as well. What do you mean, Mr. Doctor? What do you mean? When I was out there, outside my body, I saw Mr. Doctor. He was hovering around. Oh, hovering? Like, what do you mean? Oh, is it Cetria? He wasn't walking. He was just there, floating, and he looked different. Kind of like he wasn't really there, but at the same time was pulling the little kid to get away from me. That was odd. I didn't see Cetria around. Really? But I didn't see him at all tonight. Me neither, but I'll keep an eye on him. I think he's going to the old man's room next. Maybe I'll catch him if you visit there often. What old man's room? Something wasn't right about Cetria, and now Angela had seen it too. Will it save? No, it won't. Fuck. I am so screwed. This is a terrible fucking way to make a game where you don't have an option to save. I wonder what actually happened. Angela lives. Oh. Suddenly room 108's door swing open violently. But Mr. X, with his wild eyes and disheveled hair, burst out, throwing away all of his medical equipment as if it were poison. She's after me. Who? Cetria, we have to stop him. We chased after him, but he was too fast, too frantic. I have to run, I can make it. He bolted into an empty room, and before I could reach him, he lunged for the window. Sir, this is the 5th floor. He jumped, and I felt time stretch as I watched him fall. Oopsie, the sickening thud echoed through the halls. The air filled with the haunting. Fuck, I hate motorcycles. Fuck, every important scenario, every important scene in games that I play, they always fucking show up all of a fucking sudden to ruin the fucking recording. What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's like you know when to fucking ruin the fucking recording in very important fucking parts of the fucking game that I'm fucking currently recording. It's like the universe is making fun of me. This is all planned out. I'm so fucking irritated. The sickening thud echoed through the halls, and the air filled with the haunting sounds of what is that? Gamelan and Pichidin song and eerie lullaby that seemed to mock the tragedy. Stood frozen, my heart pounding when a woman's laughter pierced through the haunting melody. It was as if coming from the very depths of hell. No. The side of his lifeless body sprawled on the ground before it broke something inside me. Okay. I don't get it. But I have to stop it here, or else I'll be late. So this is Intensive Scare Unit. Whatever I load, I guess that's what we'll get. Stupid fucking option to remove the save option. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.